Pecha Kucha 69, social media, and Nobunaga. So I went to the Tate Britain twice this week, and I'm not going to talk about it because art is, yeah, it's a big deal. And whenever I talk about it, I was talking to the Mystic more about it. You just end up talking in circles, and I think I already did that enough in this podcast. We go on for about 3.5 hours. We talk a lot about current controversies. We talk about video games. We talk about Kim Jong-gi, who everybody loves because he's awesome. All kinds of stuff. Check it out if you haven't already. Yeah, so this was the week I decided let's create an Instagram. So I did, and then it turns out Instagram isn't what I thought it was. It's kind of awkward for me to use. I'm going to end up, taking pictures of my PC to upload instead of taking the images on my PC to upload. I don't know about that. So immediately after creating an Instagram, I created a Tumblr and blogs I understand. So yeah, I'm just kind of going back through stuff I've done in the last few months, picking some stuff, putting it up. There's more in the wings. Tumblr is a real cool place to be, so yeah, I'm looking forward to growing what I've got going and just seeing other cool stuff. Tumblr's great because the homepage is a combination of what you upload and the tags that you've said that you like, so I'm just going down my list and just seeing cool stuff all the day long. It's a little bit dangerous because there's no shortage of awesome stuff to get distracted by, so yeah, like I don't waste enough time looking at fun things. So one thing I saw was a guy who was like commissioning for like Turtles fan art, and he broke his stuff down into like kind of cheap categories, and it made me think isn't something I'd thought of doing this way. So maybe I should look at this and try getting people to offer me cheap commissions or free commissions using the same system. So this was also the week where I uploaded my first YouTube video for a while that was made in Premiere Pro. Oh boy, I couldn't even crossfade without getting into trouble. It's a lot of work being a video editor. I don't recommend it unless you're committed. Alright, so Nobunaga, thanks to Samurai Warriors, I have a distinct opinion of how he should be. I'm trying to represent that visually. It's kind of awkward because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm a little bit like the Joker, not quite sure how he should look. I want him, the way I draw him, to kind of look like he'd fit into Berserk. So I'm just trying to go through all these like ideas of mood. So here's like, let's say the guy on the left is Mitsuhide, and he's sitting down, and Hideyoshi's having a talk, and Nobunaga's in the background, and he's not doing anything, but he's still shady as fuck because that's Nobunaga for you, and he has the spirit of a wild wolf in the bottom panel. I don't know, whatever, right? So the kind of intense see through you stare is a big part of his expression. Or how like it's done in Samurai Warriors and stuff like that. So this isn't that far off, like say one of his character models in one of the games. And then I've got the G pen out, and yeah, I was just experimenting with inking while I was going around his face. I think I nailed the eyes, but it's yeah, the different types of inking and cross hatching and stuff just makes him look more like he's got battle scars than like shading. Speaking of like dodgy shading, yeah, I was doing a little like less than a minute sketch to see if I could like quickly switch brushes and grasp like a 3D shape of a head. Too much going on in not enough time. Experimenting in too many different ways, so I kind of left it. Yeah, this is a picture of Cao Cao I started a while back and came back to, and all I was trying to do this time was kind of add a sense of three-dimensionality to his head by kind of pretty much adding grain lines like you'd see on wood. It's because the values are so low, it's so high I should say, though it's a little bit strong. And then I just thought, screw it, since I'm here, let's just pull out the lasso ink tool, let's do this thing, see how that turns out. I nailed Dian Wei in the background, but that's because I'm better at doing less details. More details just makes it more obvious how little I know, right? So I dropped a little color on there because it goes right on top of the ink, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm not especially fond of the color I use for Cao Cao's face, But none of this is really finished work. It's just work that I've done stuff with. Yeah, so Kajitoken uploaded this video of him making like a meme. If you don't know who the FCC's chairman is, that's another story. And he's effectively in Photoshop warping and tracing and stuff. And you know, it raises the question, like, is this acceptable making art, or is he a dirty cheater? Right, so yeah, I watched this Joe Rogan Experience with Mel Gibson. Yeah, because Mel Gibson was in it, but when it turned out he was just there to talk about like stem cells and stuff, I kept, you know, I watched the whole thing. It's only an hour long, but it's, you know, some of the most interesting Joe Rogan Experiences are the ones about science. So I saw this earlier today. Kim Jong-il's giving a lecture to some class somewhere, obviously in Korea, because that's what he's speaking. But just watching him using a whiteboard marker, you can pick up so much. His grasp of perspective and putting characters in perspective is something I'm going to work on specifically. And Steamed Hams for the week, Ace Attorney parody. I don't even play Ace Attorney. This parody is just, it just stands on its own 2 feet. It's just highly entertaining and double the length of the initial clip, the original clip. So yeah, 2 thumbs up. Way better than the Dragon Ball Z one. Right, so what I should do next week is like look at putting characters in perspective in 3D planes like Kim Jong-il does. Because really watching him do it, it's not, yeah, it's not that big a deal. It's just something you've got to work on and practice and figure out the bits that you don't get. Just like anything, I guess. It would be harder to learn the piano. Yeah, you know, work on Tumblr, which will be fun. Work on Instagram, which will be awkward. I've got something planned that's a secret. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to do it. And if I don't do it, then no one will ever know what it was. Yeah, the detective noir story, it's my turn to do some pages on that, the collaborative thing, so I'll do that. And then me and the other guys, we might change the way we do it because it's a little too awkward doing it blind because it's a murder mystery and none of us know what's actually going to happen. It's a bit strong. And then, of course, the Smiley Show. I have my Tumblr. I might even create a separate Tumblr for the Smiley Show, but I don't think I'm creating a separate Patreon. So I'll just get on with that, and that will be that. So that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 69, and I'll see you next time.